The two quantities we often measure in a circuit are voltage and current. Voltage is measured using a voltmeter and current measured using an ammeter. In this lesson, I will discuss the proper way to attach these two meters. This is a parallel circuit with two resistors. We know it's a parallel circuit because each resistor has an independent path back to the source. 10 amps come out of the voltage source and some of the current enters the 20 ohm resistor and the rest of the current goes to the branch with the 30 ohm resistor. The three circles that contain the letter A represent ammeters. In this presentation, I will focus on how voltmeters and ammeters are placed in a circuit to measure voltage and current. This circuit has three ammeters. Each ammeter is placed inside the circuit and measures the current at that location. A3 measures the current coming out of the voltage source. A1 measures the current in the first branch with the 20 ohm resistor. A2 measures the current in the 30 ohm resistor. We see from the picture the ammeter measures 4 amps. Before we discuss how a voltmeter is placed in a circuit, let's find the current in the first branch. Since the total current of 10 amps is the sum of the current in each branch, the current in the first branch has to be 6 amps because 6 amps plus 4 amps equals 10 amps. Now we're going to find the total voltage in this circuit. Since this is a parallel circuit, if we find the voltage drop in the second resistor, we'll also know the total voltage. Since the current is 4 amps and the resistance is 30 ohms, Ohm's law lets us calculate the voltage drop, which is 120 volts. That means the voltage drop in the second resistor is 120, the first resistor is 120, and of course the voltage source is a positive 120 volts. Let's get back to talking about the two meters that measure voltage and current in a circuit. Voltmeters measure voltage, and unlike ammeters, they are placed on the outside of the component they are measuring. The graphic on the left shows the correct placement of a voltmeter. When voltmeters are connected correctly, the wires form the letter V. As I said before, ammeters are connected in series. They measure current and are always placed inside the circuit where the current is. Voltmeters are connected in parallel and measure voltage drops, and ammeters are connected in series and measure current. Which meter in this circuit is the ammeter and which is the voltmeter? The voltmeter is connected in parallel to the resistor and the wires form the letter V. The ammeter is placed inside the circuit and measures the current in the circuit. Since an ammeter measures the current in a circuit branch, it must be placed inside the circuit. If we want to measure the current in the third branch of this parallel circuit, we must open the circuit and place it alongside of the light bulb. Since the voltmeter measures the voltage or potential difference of a component in a circuit, it must be placed outside the component. If we want to measure the voltage in the third branch of this parallel circuit, we must attach the two wires on either side of the light bulb. Only one of the circuits shown here has the ammeter and the voltmeter connected correctly. The voltmeter in the first choice is incorrect because it should be placed on the outside of the circuit. The ammeter in the third circuit is incorrect because it should be placed inside the circuit where it can measure the current. The ammeter in the third resistor is incorrect, or maybe I mean third circuit is incorrect because it should be placed inside the circuit. The only circuit that's correct is the bottom right, or the fourth one. If you want to measure the total current in a parallel circuit, it must be placed on either side of the voltage source. To measure the voltage drop in the first resistor, the wire should be placed on both ends of the resistor. To measure the current in the second resistor, you need to place it inside the circuit on either side of the second resistor, either the left side or the right side. Let's use this animation to review what you've learned. Ammeters measure current and are placed inside a circuit, and voltmeters measure voltage and are placed in parallel to the object they're measuring. Which voltmeter would read 10 volts? The first circuit is a parallel circuit, so all the voltage drops are equal to the source voltage. that meter would read 20 volts. The second voltmeter is placed around both resistors so their combined voltage would equal the source voltage, or 20 volts. The third circuit would be 5 volts because the combined voltage drops must equal 10 volts. The last voltmeter reads 10 volts because the sum of the voltage drops equal the source. This is the end of my presentation on adding a voltmeter and an ammeter to a circuit to measure voltage and current.